Sansha, Yongle Blue Hole. Sansha. Yongle Blue Hole sits in the South China Sea. It's 987 feet deep, the deepest known blue hole on Earth. It drops through a coral reef like a drain, dark blue against the turquoise of the shallows, beautiful from above. What's below the entrance is almost completely unknown. Oxygen disappears at 300 feet. Below that, the water is anoxic, deadly to almost everything that needs air to survive. Divers can't go past the oxygen boundary. Remotely operated vehicles have gone deeper. What they found was a completely separate Movile cave. Movile Cave is sealed under southern Romania. It's been cut off from the surface for 5.5 million years. The air inside is toxic, high in carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. No light has ever entered it. When scientists broke through the ceiling in 1986, what they found shouldn't have been possible. 48 species lived inside. 33 of them exist nowhere else on Earth. They evolved entirely in isolation, completely independent of the surface world. No sunlight, no photosynthesis. The entire food chain runs on chemosynthesis. Bacteria eat the toxic gases. Everything else eats the bacteria. A functioning ecosystem built on poison. Microbes in LECHUGILLA are unlike anything found elsewhere. Some produce compounds that kill antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Researchers discovered this accidentally. A bacterium from the cave walls neutralized MRSA in lab tests. An organism that evolved with no exposure to modern medicine developed the ability to fight the most dangerous infections in human hospitals. The cave may contain hundreds more undiscovered compounds, biological tools that evolved in isolation for millions of years. Less than half the cave has been explored. Access is strictly controlled. It sits on Ross Island in Antarctica. Beneath it runs a network of ice caves carved by volcanic heat. Hundreds of miles of tunnels, most of them never entered by humans. The caves exist in a paradox. Ice walls a meter thick, but the air inside is warm, sometimes above 25 degrees Celsius. The volcano heats from below. The ice holds from above. Inside this pocket, the environment is completely stable, has been for thousands of years, long enough for life to establish itself in total isolation. DNA sampling of the cave air found something It's now the deepest known freshwater cave on Earth, and no one knows how deep it actually goes. The water is unusual. It comes from hydrothermal sources deep in the rock, warm and mineral-rich, not connected to surface water. The cave formed in a completely different way than normal sinkholes. Something in the geology here created a shaft that drops beyond what any equipment has yet measured. The walls at depth contain fossil formations, marine fossils from 370 million years ago, species that went extinct long before humans existed, preserved in the limestone. Crater. HIAWATHA. Impact crater sits beneath the Greenland ice sheet. It's 19 miles wide. A meteorite hit there, and the ice swallowed it. For thousands of years, no one knew it was there. It was found in 2018 using radar imaging. The discovery changed what scientists thought they knew about recent Earth history. The impact happened roughly 13,000 years ago. In geological terms, that's yesterday. The meteorite was at least a kilometer wide. The explosion would have been catastrophic. Vaporized ice. Superheated floods across the north. The chemistry of Lost City is almost identical to what scientists theorize for early Earth. Some researchers believe life on this planet started in places exactly like this. The field might be a living model of how everything began. What's down there past the towers hasn't been explored. The field extends beyond what submersibles have mapped. Thermal imaging shows heat sources deeper in the structure, larger than the visible towers would produce. Something below is generating more heat than the surface accounts for. The towers might be the top of something much larger, buried in the seafloor. The base is on its surface. There are sinkholes, perfectly circular holes in the rock. The largest is 1,100 feet wide and 1,100 feet deep. They drop straight down, like something drilled them from above. The sinkholes are sealed ecosystems. The walls are too sheer to climb. Animals can't get in or out. Whatever is inside has been there for thousands of years, cut off from the plateau above and the jungle below. When scientists were finally lowered in by helicopter, they found a world that had evolved in complete isolation. Plants that exist